Today we'll be looking at something new and different. I'll be teaching you on how to draft a dolman gown. It's a free short gown, and I'll be using this 2 years of material to illustrate on that. So, to do that, first of all, you get your shoulder slope. You mark 1.5 inches here. Then this style will be a joint sleeve. That's the I will be cutting a separate sleeve. The sleeve and the shoulder will be attached together to be together. So you just mark 3 inches on the neck area, then 1.5 at this area, and just connect for the shoulder slope. So that's the first step to take. Okay, then for you to get how to measure for your together with sleeve kind of style, you measure from the nape of your neck, that's the center part, your neck bone, to wherever you want your sleeve length to be. If you want your sleeve length to be 8, you measure from here to here. Wherever I want the sleeve length to be, that's where you stop the measurement. You measure. I'm just using this as an illustration. So imagine this as an human being, as a person. You measure from the neck area to wherever you want your sleeve to be. So that's it. And mine is 15 inches. This is a 2 years fabric, and the length is 37 inches plus allowance. That's the actual length is 35 inches plus 2 inches seam allowance, which is total of 37 inches. So from this point, I will come down by 9 inches for my sleeve opening. This style, you don't really need your bust line, your under bust line. You can just go ahead and mark your waistline, and the waistline I'm working with is 14 inches. So I'll just mark 14 inches. You don't necessarily need your bust line, your under bust line. I'll just connect the line together, 14 inches like this. Okay, since this is a free gown, you will need extra inches to it because of the way the style is. That's the rope area will make it to be fitting, so you need extra inches. So the waist I'm working with is 28 inches. Divide by 4 will give me 8.7 inches. But before then, I would love to add extra inches to it. So I'll be adding 8 inches extra to my measurement. So that's with 8 inches, which is actual waist measurement. You add 8 inches to it, which will give you a total of 36 inches. So that 36 inches will be dividing it by 4, which will give us 9 inches. So I'll mark 9 inches here. I'll measure from my waist hip line, that's from the shoulder area to my hip line is 24 inches. So I'll just mark 24 inches and roll it out. This is my hip line. So on my hip line, I'll do same thing I did for the waistline. I'll add 8 inches to my hip measurement, then divide by 4. My hip is 38 inches plus 38 inches plus 8 inches will give us 46 inches. So that 46 inches will divide it by 4, which will give me 11.5. So I'll just go ahead and mark 11.5. 11.5. So I'll just connect the line on my where I mark for my sleeve opening, which is 9 inches. I'll come in by 2 inches. I'll come in by 2 inches on that point here. Then I'll just connect it like this to the waistline, then to the hip line like this. So this is what I'll be having. You can choose to add extra inches to it. I can just choose to add 2 inches extra to it to be sure it's super free. And I'll just connect it like this. If you don't want it that free, you can leave it like this. Okay, this is what I'm having. I just connected the line from my shoulder area to my armpole area. So this is it. So I'll just trim this off now, and we'll go ahead to the dolman style. That's the rope and whatever I'll be using for the dolman. Okay, for my neckline, I'll be using the width of 3 inches because I don't want it wide. and 4.5 inches depth for the front, while for the back I'll come down by 2 inches. I'll connect it together. Just connect my neckline together like this and like this. So this is for the back neck, this is for the back, and this is for the front neck. This is 2 inches depth and this is 4.5 inches depth. Then the width is 3 inches. This is all about the body of the gown, so I'll just trim the sides off and go ahead to the rest part of the gown. Before you cut, you have to cut the back neck before cutting the front neck. Okay, for this lower part, you measure whatever you have on your hip. To just, you take the same measurement. Sorry, I didn't show you earlier on. I just measure what I have here, and I took same measurement at the lower part. You just connect it straight like this, like that. You don't need to make it pencil at the lower part. Okay, this gown will be having a front slit, so I'll just come down by 4.5 inches. So I'll just come down by 4.5 inches from my front neck for the slit. So I'll just open it up. This is it. Okay, you can choose to make any kind of patchy design on your dolman gown, but me, I'll be using a big gold pocket at one side of the dress. So this is like 17 inches long. You can make yours wider than this, and you can also place yours from the beginning of the center front, or you can just create like 2 inches space and make it just at one side like that, just based on preference. This is 17 inches long. I've not folded it. This was folding allowance. Then 10 inches wide. So what I'll be doing now, I'll just fold it a little around the edges, then I'll fold here in using like at about 2 inches. I'll fold it in before placing it on the anchor, on the main fabric. You just bend it over and sew, then you just fold the edges, the lower part, then you attach it to your dress. You can see, you can just pin it up using 1/2 inches on both sides, then you sew on the main fabric. You just place it like this. You can choose to do yours whichever way you want. You can just create a stylish design on one side. It mustn't be a pocket. Just create any design of your choice. So before I will notch the center, the waistline of both the front and back before removing the front area. I'll just notch it. Just notch, make sure you notch the front and back of your waistline. Just notch it a little, then I'll open it up. That's all about the pocket, by the way. I'll open it up like this. On the right side, you can see my slit. So you can see the notched line from this side to this side. So I'll just use my ruler to connect a straight line. Remember, this is done at the right side of the fabric. So I'll just connect it to meet the other end where I notched. Okay. Okay, you can see the center line, the midpoint of this dress. So from that waistline, along this area, the right hand side where I'll be having my rope, I'll mark 2 inches or 1.5 inches. I'll mark 1.5 inches here. So from this point to this point, from the point where we mark 1.5 inches, I'll just mark what I'm having to my midpoint of my dress. So what I have here is 8 inches. So I'll cut a stripe of 8 inches long. So I'll just mark, and this is 8 inches long. So I'll just bring a piece of the same fabric and mark like 8.5 inches long. I added 1/2 inches seam allowance extra because I'll be folding the edges, and it will be 2.5 inches wide. 2.5 inches wide. and 8.5 inches long. So I'll just connect it like this. So I'll cut this out. This is an extra fabric, not same fabric, please. Just cut this out. Okay, so this piece now, I'll be placing it on this side. I'll fold the both edge like this. That's the rough edges. Fold it in and sew, and also fold the side area. I'll be leaving an opening at one side of the piece. I'll just fold it here using 1/4 inches and sew first before placing it on the fabric. Fold the both side using 1/4 inches. You just go to your sewing machine and sew here 1/4 inches, here 1/4 inches. Then you come to your fabric, you place it on it, then you sew it on it using 1/2 inches or 1/4 inches, just a little, just hold it in a little and sew on the main fabric. You just place it here on it and sew using 1/4 inches or 1/2 inches on both sides like this. That's creating something like this. Remember, here will be open, one side will be open, which is along the waist area will be open, and here you close this up, you match it on the dress. So I'll just do just that and show you guys. So you also cut another straight piece, 2 of it, aside the first one we cut, which is about 22 inches long and 1.5 inches wide. You cut 2 of it. What you'll be doing with this piece, you just fold it like this. You fold it like this, creating a rope, and sew. You just fold it this way and sew straight down. You sew the both stripes like that. So you also cut 2 of this piece as well, the 2.5 inches wide and 8.5 inches long for the back part of it. So first you'll be working on the front part. You repeat the same process at the back part as well. So you just fold here 1/4 inches and sew. Just fold it very tiny. Okay, I just matched the both sides using 1/4 inches. Okay, I just sewed my rope. You see. So this rope will be inside the casing I talked about earlier on, the 2.5 inches wide casing. Okay, I just stitch the rope on the fabric. I just stitch it, just top stitch on it, that's all. Then I'll bring this part to cover the rope. You can see it's 2.5 inches wide. I'll place it on it like this. I'll fold the edges using 1/2 inches. You make sure you don't sew on your rope, so you sew beside the rope carefully, not to sew on the rope. So you sew on both sides and this side as well. You also stitch this part as well. You stitch it on the midpoint of your dress. You stitch it on it. Remember, we fold it first using 1/4 inch, so we'll have a neat edge. You don't want your edges to be rough removing out rope, so you have to stitch it first. Okay, so on both sides I will sew it 1/2 inches. Okay, I've also stitched the rope casing at the midpoint of the dress. Then I'll fold here in like this and sew. And you remember, you don't stitch on your rope, you just place the rope at the center like this. You can hold it up with your pin, then you sew at the both edges using 1/2 inch. Just fold it in like this and you sew. You fold it the other side inward like this as well and sew. Okay, this is the front part. This is what it's looking like. See, By the time you draw it up, it will be like this. So repeat same thing at the back part, exactly what I did in the front. You just repeat same thing, same piece, same measurement, and you do at the back of the dress. So this is the front. I'll pick the back now and repeat same process. At the half length, you fix this rope exactly the way I fixed mine. You can see it's already bringing out the style. So that's it. Okay, this is the second piece for the back. I'll just repeat same process. I'll match it with 1/4 inches. Just match with 1/4 inches. I'll repeat same thing at the other side. If you can match directly on the dress, you can, but you have to match one side before placing it on the dress. But if you can match the other side directly at the center part of the dress, then it's okay. Just like this. At the midpoint, you also make sure it has to be at the right hand side. If you make sure it tally with the front part. The rope has to be at the right hand side, just like how the front is. You make sure it's at the right hand side. You can see. So at the right hand side of this, I'll also do the same thing. You connect the line from the midpoint. Then you place your piece, you place your rope, then you place your piece on top. That's the rope casing. I call it a rope casing. You can call it whatever you wish. Fold the rope, just fold it like this, fold the both sides, then you fold again, just like this. You fold the both edges, then you fold again, give me something like this, and you sew on this part. For my pockets, I'll fold one side in using 1 inch for the pocket opening. That's where my hand will pass through. I'll just change to a matching thread and do just that. Okay, this is the pocket. You can choose to put it from the midpoint of your front dress. This is about 17 inches long. I've said that earlier on. So I'll be folding it in by 1/4 inch. Then I'll just press it. I'll just press the edge. And before I placed it, I folded the upper part, which is the pocket opening, with 1 inch. You can use 1.5 like that, depending on how bold you want the sewing to be. Then you just fold the edges by 1/2 inch, then you match on it. You won't be matching the opening area, you only match this side, the lower part, and also the other side of it, just the sides. You can place this anywhere of your choice, just based on preference, but I want mine this way. And you can make yours wider than this. It's just based on preference. You can make it bigger. So it's just how you want it. I'm just trying to fold it using my iron, using 1/2 inches on 1/4 inches, sorry, on both sides. Just fold it tiny like this. So I'll just do just that, and I'll use my machine to stitch it tiny along the edges round. I'll use my pin to hold it up before sewing in order for it not to be shaky. Okay, I just finished ironing it and I've pinned it to my dress, so it's time to sew. Okay, I just attached my pockets. You can see how fine it's looking. So I'll just cut a facing for the neckline. So that's what I'll be doing next. We'll cut a facing for the neckline to turn the neckline. Then I'll place the right side facing each other, both for the front and back against each other, right side facing each other. Then I'll shape in the dress. I'll just start from the shoulder area, fold my sleeve tiny. Then if you want your sleeve to be bold, then you have to add like extra 2 inches to the sleeve while cutting it, but I did not, because I just want to fold it very tiny. So I'll just turn my neckline, then I'll fold the down using 1 inch. Okay, for the facing, for my facing, I just folded my Ankara into 2, because I would love to use this Ankara for the facing. Folded it into 2. I placed the back, this is the back part, on it. Then I'll just cut out the neckline. And I'll cut like 3 inches on this side, 3 or 4 inches, just based on what you want. And I'll also come down here by 3 inches. Come down here by 3 inches and cut. lower part you just measure 3 inches round and cut. So this is for the back facing. I'll just fold the edges in, or you can weave it, you can just interlock the edges. So that's all for the back. For the front, I'll do same thing, just fold my fabric, whatever I want to use for the inner facing, fold it, place it on the dress, then cut it out same way. You just fold it into 2. You can choose to use the black material for the facing. This is just what I want, so this is just based on preference. Fold it into 2. Place the front on it against the Ankara. Okay. Just trying to arrange it so it will be equal. Okay, and you make sure your slit is also equal. Just ensure you arrange it very well. Okay, this is for the front. At this part, I'll just measure 4.5 for my slit. Remember, I marked 4.5 for slit, so just mark it here, measure it, and open it up with my scissors. Just open it straight. For your inner facing, you place the right side of the facing on the fabric like this, then you sew round, sew from this part like this to your opening, then you sew it like that. Just sew it all around like that, then you notch the edges, just notch a little. That's like using your scissors to cut it out a little. Just notch around the edges, then you flip it over to the back. So that's all for the facing. I'll just do just that up the camera. So I've just turned my facing. You can see how it's looking. This is the wrong side of it. So what I'll do now, just use my hemming gum to hold it up. This is also based on preference. You just use it to, or you just cut it and put it underneath it, then use a hot iron to press it directly on it. Ensure your iron is hot. You can see it's actually coming on it. So I'll just place it underneath it round. Okay, this is the outcome of my dress. You can see how beautiful it's looking. There's the pocket, and there's the slits. This side is. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Bye. See you in my next video.